Now as we do this and use the texture plates, it will not be necessary for us to use our typical clear plates, but we will still use our platform that came with our Big Shot. We'll open it up to tab 1 and put it in, and all the instructions are right here to tell us the layers to create. In this example, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking our texture plate. These beautiful texture plates come with a design on both sides. Here we have a beautiful flourish vine, and on this side we have a damask. So I'm going to just place my paper on. This is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sheet of paper, which is the standard size of most cards, just to give you an idea of how large these texture plates are. And I'll lay it on here to be able to catch the image that I want. If your paper is specific, then you want to make sure that you place it face down on the plate. We'll now lay this right on top of the decking. In order for the pressure of the Big Shot to make the impression on the paper, we're going to lay down this rubber silicone pad on top of our paper. And then we're going to use our nice impressions pad instead of using our clear plastic. This is actually a little bit thicker than the clear plastic that we would normally use, and this is called the impressions pad. So we'll lay this right down, and we're going to push it through until the handle starts moving. Grab your handle and start rolling. Hold the handle on top, and then the pressure between those two steel rollers inside the Big Shot are going through, and they're pushing the impression right up into the paper. So when we take it off, you can see it's a very soft impression. And looking at the other side, the impression plates actually give us more of a real look as what you would see if you used a light table, a stylus, and classy brass templates. But it allows you to do very ornate designs very quickly by running it through the Big Shot option. So just to be able to show you in comparison, let me show you the difference between an impressions plate and doing the folders. You can see that there's much more texture on the folders, and it really pushes through. They give you two different looks for you to be able to choose how you want that look to be on your projects. Let me show you how our Big Shot from Stampin' Up! And Sizzix works with our big dies that are the XLs. In this case, we're going to need larger plastic plates to be able to work with this because they're longer. And so we have the extended size plates to work with this. The die that I'm going to use today is quite thick, so you see we will not need to be using the platform that comes with our Sizzix because the thickness of the die is thick enough to be able to go through the machine. So what we're going to do is use this standard die. Now the cool thing about this die, this is our, what is the name of this guy? This is our Biggs XL Curly Label die. And what I love about this is that it'll make a card for you. It'll cut it all the way around here, and right here we have a score line, and then in the middle it'll cut out a window on the front of your card, however you'd like it to be. But the cool thing is this is movable. It's magnetic. So if you're going to make a card that faces this way and you wanted to have a little window down here, you could paste your die cut there. Or you could place it right in the middle of the front of the card. Or if you were making it tall, you could put it here. I've actually got it positioned, and I drew around a line with my Sharpie to show me every time I put one of my magnets on where exactly it's going to go so that I'm ready to go and make my cuts. Now to create this card, what I'm going to do is take a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, and I've cut it down to 6 inches by 12 inches. And I'm going to lay it right on top of here, face down. Now, as I've explained before, that when you're using a die that has score lines along with the cut lines, you're going to want to use a special mat to go along with this. But I'll put this face down, and I'm going to use my extended large clear plates on this. I'm going to put one down on the bottom for the base. I'll then place my die on here with the paper on top, face down. And instead of using this clear plastic plate again, I'm going to go ahead and use my long impressions plate. And just to be sure that I'm going to get the cut all the way through and get my score lines just right, I'm going to use the accompanying spacer that came along with it. Just a little plastic shim to go in there. And so where the shim's going to go is you're going to take it and put it right underneath your die on top of your first plastic plate. Place the die back on top. That gives you just a little bit of lift to make sure that you're getting just enough thickness to squeeze through those two metal rollers. And then we're going to place our nice crease pad right on top. We'll hold them down, push the sandwich into the Big Shot. Very good. Let's see how this turned out. Oh, beautiful. We're going to take out our impression from the middle. We're going to separate it. And then you're ready to fold your card in half, and you have a beautiful opening in the front of your card. And it even has this very fine stitching element around the frame. Now the cool thing about this is you get a card already cut out and it's ready to go. You could use your card in this orientation or this orientation. But let me show you something fun. Stampin' Up! Also has many other dies that can fit inside this die. So we could take out our curly label punch, and for the holiday season we could put in this beautiful dove, so that when we cut out our card there would be a beautiful dove cut out on the front of the card. Or we could maybe do a Christmas ornament that sits on the front of the card. The options are fabulous. So this is a very versatile, this is called our Curly Label Biggs XL. Love this. Now sometimes I just want to have this shape, because you'll notice that this shape matches one of our handheld punches that we have. So when I want to just cut out this shape, all I'll do is take a small piece of paper and I'll just set it over that die, and I'll run it through just like we did the other products. So, but in this case it's just cutting. I don't need to do any scoring. So I'm going to put down my big plate first. I'm going to put the die in, and I'm going to slide it through a majority of the way because I really don't need to cut all of that. I just really want to get this shape right here. So I could even move the shape down here to the end, and I can place the paper right over. I could lay this down on top just like this, and then run it through. And the only thing I'm running through in this case is just going to be to get that little shape cut out of that Christmas ornament. Okay, so we bring it through. There's our Christmas ornament die cut out, and it also made the impression in the front of this envelope. So there's lots of ways you can use it. If you just want to use these dies, then you can just cut them out that way. And then these dies generally coordinate nicely with our handheld punches.